Let's be real, some of us would rather alphabetize our spice rack than sit down to plan our day. Time management sounds great in theory, but in real life, it often feels like some kind of productivity cult. You're supposed to wake up at 5 a.m., drink green sludge, do cold plunges, and plan every minute of your day like you're running a Fortune 500 company. But what if you're not that person? What if you just want to get things done without turning your life into a color-coded spreadsheet? That's what we're talking about today on BetterMe. Self-improvement for the rest of us. The real ones. The tired ones. The I'll do it tomorrow crew. Why traditional time management makes you want to throw your planner out the window. Most time management advice assumes you've got your life together, that you wake up energized, color code your tasks, and find deep joy in the word optimization. But let's be honest, some days just putting on pants before 10 a.m. feels like an achievement, worthy of a standing ovation. If you're anything like me, your Monday goal isn't maximize productivity. It's don't cry in the car and maybe answer one email without rage quitting. The problem with traditional time management is that it often treats people like machines. Plug in a system, get results. But humans, we're messy, we're emotional. We spill coffee, we get distracted, we spiral because someone said, per my last email. Rigid systems fail real people. Here's the real truth. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a plan that bends without breaking. One that can handle the chaos of life. A flat tire, a sick kid, a 2-hour meeting that should have been an email. Productivity isn't a punishment. It's not a hustle contest or a 5 a.m. club you need to join. It's just a tool to help you do what matters. On your terms. So, no. You don't need to wake up at 4:45 a.m. to earn the right to be productive. Unless that works for you, then hey, grab your sword and march into battle, Spartan warrior. But for the rest of us, there's nothing wrong with starting slow, moving gently, and building a system that actually feels good to live in. Because the goal isn't to impress your calendar. The goal is to build a life that works for the actual you. Start by figuring out your energy hours instead of forcing a rigid schedule. You know those times in the day when you feel sharp? Like your brain finally decided to show up to work? That's your power zone. And the secret to simple time management is building your tasks around your energy, not the clock. For some, that might be early morning. For others, it's after 2 cups of coffee and a full mental breakdown. Honor your rhythm. Productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things at the right time. The magical power of 1 thing a day, because 5 things is too many. You know those to-do lists that look like CVS receipts? Yeah, the ones that unroll like a medieval scroll and instantly make your brain want to nap. Here's the deal. You don't need 27 tasks. You don't even need 10. You need clarity. Try this instead. Every morning, before the chaos starts, before the caffeine even hits, ask yourself one simple question. What's the one thing that if I actually got it done today would make me feel like I moved forward? That's it. That's your win condition. Everything else is a bonus round. And here's the genius of this. When you reduce the noise, your brain stops panicking. You stop playing task whack-a-mole and start moving with intention. You give yourself a target, a direction, a reason to say, nope, not now, to the distractions. If you do that one thing, great, gold star. If you do more, awesome, overachiever energy. If you only do that, you still win. Why? Because you built momentum. And momentum, my friend, beats motivation every single time. time. Motivation is moody. It shows up when it wants to, usually after a nap and a playlist. But momentum? That's self-generated. That's forward motion, fueled by action. You don't have to conquer your entire life in one day. You just need to show up for one meaningful thing. This is more than just time management. It's personal growth in slow motion. Quiet, steady, sustainable, and honestly, it feels way better than checking off 12 microtasks and still wondering why you're exhausted and weirdly empty. So go ahead, ditch the endless list. Pick your one thing, make it count. Then go live the rest of your day like a human being, not a productivity robot. Use the 10-minute rule to trick your brain into starting. Let's say you're avoiding something big, like replying to emails, cleaning the garage, or starting your novel that's been marinating for 3 years. Tell yourself, I'll just do 10 minutes. That's it. No pressure to finish. Why? Because the hardest part is starting. Once you begin, momentum kicks in. The brain stops whining, and action takes over. This is self-discipline in disguise. It's not about pushing hard. It's about making it easy to begin. The real MVP, time blocking, but make it lazy-friendly. You don't have to schedule every minute. Try this instead. Block your day into 3 chunks. Morning, midday, evening. That's it. Assign each chunk a vibe, not a task list. Morning equals focus time. Midday equals admin and email. Evening, chill or flex zone. This is minimalist living for your schedule. Enough structure to guide you. Loose enough not to stress you out. Let's talk about guilt and why you're not lazy, just human. A lot of us feel bad when we waste time, but time isn't a resource to be hoarded. It's a medium to live in. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to scroll. You're allowed to have a low-energy day without turning it into a personal failure. Self-improvement doesn't mean being a robot. It means being a better human, with boundaries, grace, and a little forgiveness. How emotional intelligence makes time management easier. Ever notice how your worst time management days are usually your most emotionally chaotic ones? Like, it's not just that you didn't plan well, it's that your brain was doing backflips while your heart was quietly screaming into a pillow. That's because your schedule doesn't just need discipline, it needs empathy. Emotional intelligence isn't some fluffy concept reserved for therapists and TED Talks. It's your built-in radar for what's actually going on beneath the surface. It helps you notice, oh, I'm not being lazy, I'm just overwhelmed. Or, maybe I'm not distracted, I'm just anxious about that one awkward email I've been avoiding. When you pause and tune in, you start to realize that foggy, restless feeling could be your brain saying, I need a reset. That hyper-focus on low-priority tasks might be a way of escaping something that feels risky or uncertain. That urge to reorganize your sock drawer instead of working? Classic avoidance, 5-star execution. Instead of judging yourself for bad time management, try asking a better question. What would actually help me right now? It might be a 10-minute walk, or closing your 47 open tabs, or texting a friend for moral support, or simply stepping away and breathing like a human being, not a productivity robot. And here's the magic. The moment you meet your needs with kindness, you regain your clarity. Self-discipline isn't about ignoring your emotions. It's about working with them. It's like being the manager of a quirky, emotional intern. You. Some days, you're on fire. Other days, you just need snacks and reassurance. The better you understand what drives your inner world, the easier it becomes to navigate your outer one. Emotional intelligence brings you back to the present, where real decisions get made and real time gets managed. So next time you feel like everything's spiraling, don't just reach for another productivity hack. Pause, ask, listen. That's the real power move. Okay, but what if I still procrastinate like it's my job? Same. Honestly, if procrastination were an Olympic sport, I'd have a couple medals and a sponsorship deal by now. But here's the thing, they keep telling us to just push through, just start, just do it. But if it were that easy, we wouldn't be here, right? So instead of fighting procrastination like it's a villain, try getting curious about it. Treat it like a weird little roommate who keeps hiding your motivation. Ask, what am I avoiding? Maybe it's not the task, but the feeling behind it. Are you scared of failing? Or maybe succeeding and having more responsibility? What am I afraid of? A lot of procrastination is fear in disguise. Fear of imperfection, fear of judgment, fear of effort without reward. What would make this task easier to start? Sometimes it's not the mountain we're avoiding, it's our lack of hiking boots. Do you need a quieter space, a timer, a snack, a pep talk from a podcast host who sounds like your oddly supportive uncle? Here's a trick. Talk to your procrastination like a friend who's stalling. Hey, I get it. You're overwhelmed. You don't want to do this right now. Totally fair. But how about we just take one small step? You'd be surprised how often that little act of compassion is the switch that flips you from frozen to flowing. And look, sometimes procrastination is also your brain waving a little red flag. Maybe you're burned out. Maybe you're out of alignment. Maybe you just need a nap and some real food. Self-improvement isn't just about pushing harder. Sometimes it's about listening better. Give yourself grace. Get curious. Then get moving, slowly, steadily, imperfectly. That's how you build discipline without dragging yourself through the mud. A quick word on the daily Stoic way of thinking. The Stoics had a wild idea. Time is our most valuable asset. Not money, not status, just time. Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Now that's a vibe. It's not about fear, it's about focus. Use that as fuel. Not to rush, but to live intentionally. In summary, you don't need to master time. You just need to meet it halfway. Time isn't the enemy, and you don't have to become a productivity machine to have a productive life. Start small. Work with your energy. Celebrate tiny wins. Rest when you need, reflect when you can. That's real personal development. That's how you build self-control without burnout. And hey, if all else fails, just remember, even 5 minutes of focused effort is still better than 0. So, what's your one thing today? Seriously, before you scroll away, pause. Take a breath. What's one small, meaningful thing you can do today for the future you? BetterMe isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up just a little better than yesterday. And that, my friend, is more than enough.